Okay. Yay. I don't hear an echo. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Sorry about that, everybody. I don't know what the heck that was. I will be unpacking it with DC, but hopefully everybody comes back to the stream. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you very much. All right. It's been ages since, well, I did stream with this the other day. All right. Okay, so I'll just wait for a little bit until we get some people back. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you, Ove. Yes, how interesting. I think this is what, like, who was I thinking about was a white savior the other day? Oh, the Nilo Life people. So they have quite a few pictures of their person going down to like our tribe in Africa. It doesn't matter which one, does it now? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just in Africa. It's just like, look, I don't know where people stand with Mr. Beast because I don't like him. It upsets a lot of my students that I do not like Mr. Beast because I think he does poverty porn and he makes a lot of money. He was heavily invested in like crypto and NFTs and stuff like that because Gary Vee rang him up and said to invest in NFTs, buy my NFTs. And he and Logan Paul like just went, okay, yay. We will buy the NFTs because Gary Vee said that we should get them. Yeah. So I haven't watched his videos either, but I've watched people react to his videos. That's it. Okay, we are going to listen to this podcast. I did try to download it because I didn't want to give them the watch. Mm-hmm. All right, just looking at my options here. I might stay like this. All right. Let me know how the sound is.
Right now is obesity. It is robbing our children. It is robbing our grandchildren. It is robbing the future of our nation.
Okay, that was a lot I just only listened to about 3 seconds of it. These people are multimillionaires. Why don't you have a mic? That sounded rubbish. So I'm probably going to let you know that there's going to be some fat phobia, some disordered eating, body image, etc. I definitely know that they're just about to talk about obesity, and if that's on the table, I'd like to bet that there's probably some ableism coming up because it's like Claude. Oh, there's no reason for you not to exercise. It's like, I have chronic illness, not me, but other people. It's like, I would love to exercise if my body would permit that, but it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. All right.
But our biggest epidemic we are up against right now is obesity. It is robbing our children. It is robbing our grandchildren. It is robbing the future of our nation.
But actually, the person doing the bulk of the amount of work is at the top because they are getting paid the most amount of money for supporting that client, not me.
Not Doug saying he does most of the work. Wow. What a scumbag. Wow. You do most of the manipulation work and getting other people to do the work. Yeah, that's your primary motivation. Wow. I've never heard him talk like that. Like, I do so much work for my clients. What are your qualifications to work with clients, Doug? Because I don't think you have any.
Me, hey Tia, go recruit, do all this sign up crap.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna sit back and collect and you're getting paid nothing.
Yeah. And so we had amazing transformation ourselves. We found out about the program via a Facebook post that you were following along.
So also, I think that there was a time when he wasn't working. But guess what? Because of people leaving due to, variety of reasons, maybe they've become aware that they are not making any money. Hey, you can't come over here. I'm sorry. Okay? It's too hot. It's too hot in here. And anti-MLM education. Oh. This is as good as you're going to go. All right? Say hello. Hello, everybody. Sorry. Me knocked the cord out and then it automatically muted for some reason. Yeah, Doug, you do have to work hard at the moment because people have realized that the opportunity is not as lucrative as you are claiming. It's oversaturated and people have better self-esteem and they know that your diet is a starvation diet. A dietitian has literally diagnosed symptoms to be malnutrition from being on your diet. So people don't really like that, just saying,
Welcome back to episode 7, Doug and Tia Unplugged. Tia, it's good to be here in the driver's seat with you always, baby.
Good to be back. Good to be back in the seat and hanging out together today.
It is, and I'd really rather not hang out with anybody else but you today. And does that make you nervous?
It does. No, we are better together.
Man, your ladies just love to hear simple, basic compliments.
Just little ones.
With no agenda. Do my compliments have agendas?
No, I mean, you
That
really
was hesitant.
Well, guys think one way.
Are we? Do they know that they have people listening to this? It sounded very personal without an agenda. In other words, you're not trying to get anything out of that? I wonder who's on whose downline. I'd like to bet that Tia is the upline of Doug. What do you think, people? I think because I think I can recall a story like a few years ago, or maybe not even a few years ago. I think I can recall a story where he says that Tia said she was going to try it out, and then she didn't, like, she was going well, and then he started trying it out. So, yeah. Thanks. Hi, everybody who's joining. We're listening to a podcast with Doug and Tia Wood, who are in Optavia, married couple, very high up, make a lot of money scamming people and fat shaming them into buying their program. And who competed in a hot body. I don't know what those things are called. Is it a strong person competition, like where they do really like unnatural moves? You know, that was not good. Anyway, they were using Ozempic all of last year. Me too, successfully. Okay. Bodybuilding, yeah, that's it. Thank you. I think that's it. It's not my forte.
Okay, but no, I
We
appreciate.
have two heads. We think with both.
Yes, I appreciate the small little love taps and love encouragement. Like that.
You know, there's a lot of misconceptions about network marketing, multi-level marketing, MLM.
Tell it.
One of the biggest things that you and I have received over the last 14 years is, Doug, is Optavia one of them pyramid schemes? And I'm like, oh my gosh, dang it, you figured me out. How did you know?
Yes. Yes, it is. It is one of those pyramid things. He's trying to be like, hello, Lynn. How are you? We are listening to Doug and Tia Unplugged. Yeah. He thinks he's being like hilarious, but you know that saying, like, it's always a little bit of truth in a joke.
That I'm scheming everybody. But you know, what is Optavia too? Because a lot of people don't.
He didn't say no then. He said he just was kind of a smart ass, but he didn't say no, it's not one of those pyramid schemes. Good work, Doug.
No, and you know, you rewind our life 14 years ago. It definitely isn't nothing like what we thought it would be and where it is now. But I remember, you know, my first thought of network marketing was years ago. I remember you came home with like a pack of juices in a
Cans or something.
They were cans of something, and you got them from somebody at church. And do you?
Oh, these guys, they went through their churches, I bet. Okay, Lynn, tell me, why are witches' nipples tired? I have not heard this saying. Like, where does the saying come from? I'd like to know. It's 13 minutes in. I'm not going to get demonetized, I hope. I mean, you know, because I make so much from being a YouTuber. Yeah, so Tia did sign up first. So I bet you Tia is Doug's upline. That's kind of juicy. I like that. I like it. But you can see how somebody at church took advantage of her as well, which is kind of shitty. Oh, right. Oh, yes, right. Thank you, Lynn.
Remember what I told you?
You're not going to do one of those things. I don't
know. No, I didn't say that.
I don't know. Remember, I can't even remember. It was in the garage. I do remember.
Yeah, somebody
I
gave
brought
me some
something home.
juice or something. Some magic
You
potion.
could get that at the grocery store.
That's exactly
That
what I
was the
said.
biggest thing.
I said you're like, oh, you're like this magic potion. It was
If it was that great, why
it
couldn't
was
you get it
made
at
in the
grocery store?
Himalayas of the mountains of
No, it's like some
Mozambique.
energy. It was an energy drink or something. And you're
Yeah.
like, well, if it's that great, why couldn't you just
And
go
I
get that at
said,
the grocery
if it's
store?
so great, why can't you find it at the grocery store? And I was
And I said, I don't
skeptical.
know.
You're
I
like,
just,
yeah, I don't know.
I just knew it was kind of helping. We were starting to pursue health at that time. So
That's interesting. What a great point Doug made. Is he like, he's making all the objections here. Yee. Yikes. It's exposing yourself there, Duggo. Duggo? Duggo? Is that what we're going to call him? Dougie? Doug? The Dugster? Dougie? Snoop Dougie Doug? I'm 47. I can't make jokes like that when you're 47. You need to be knitting, I suppose. Yeah, I don't think so. And hello now, Kita. I only just missed Erin's live this morning, and what day is it? Thursday. I had the perfect schedule for her Tuesday lives, because that's Monday night live, because that's when I have like my part-time morning, and I've gone up I'm part-time, but I'm 0.9. So that means 1 is like full-time and 0.9 means I get like a morning off. I just don't see why this man and wife have to tag team all the time, like, isn't it just personal relationship chat at this point? Yeah, and that's why it seems like scammy and a little bit seedy that they're bringing Optavia in it, because I think it is meant to be like a relationship podcast, and what their points of view are. So, yeah.
I was like trying things.
We were, and we're all about tools, because tools to get healthy are so important.
Yeah.
We use a ton of tools. In fact, we got to do a podcast about all the tools we use.
Lots of
tools. I know 2 of them. Your tools. See, I just break the punchline. All right, just ignore me at this point. I mean, it's my life. Don't completely ignore me.
We use like 48 tools.
Yeah, we did a whole podcast, or not a podcast, but a Facebook Live about all the tools we used in 2020.
We did that in early December.
Yeah, in
It's on
2023.
my Facebook, I believe, because your
Yeah.
phone went dead.
Yeah,
Tried
we
to
could
do
even
too.
tag it here to the podcast.
Yeah, we
Maybe.
probably
Ooh.
could. We just need to. Yeah, we need to actually do that.
We'll lay that down.
All right.
Hang on, let's have a look. It doesn't really say. It doesn't have the Facebook link, but I will be looking for that, because I'd like to hear about the tools that they've used.
But okay, so go back 14 years ago. I remember, but I remember that you came home with some happy
juice.
something.
Happy. It was like something for energy. I was really battling. I mean, at this time, you have to think I'm like 45, 50 pounds heavier than I am now. And I was taking care of the girls. They were like 1.5 and I think 2.5 or something, 3 almost. And I was just like, my energy was so bad. So I was like,
no, that's not right, because your oldest daughter is 18. So that's not right at all. 14 years ago. Also, because it makes it seem like she was maybe busier if the kids were younger. Also, their 18-year-old daughter graduated from the school that they created. Lynn, oh my goodness. I didn't even think of that either. I know. I bet you I know who would have thought of that if she were here. Auntie Lushy. We know. We've been knowing. Their 18-year-old daughter has joined an MLM. Not theirs. It looks like it's a health and wellness. It was, I can't even remember the name of it. It's a very obscure one. But she also does photography. So it's interesting that she's joined an MLM in the first place. And I'm sure that the parents are like, yes, that's great. What a good way to make a side hustle when she's a talented photographer. Like, push her to a reel. That's what P.S. On Sunday, I am roasting with just Gus because Val is away at the moment. I miss Val so much because basically we're always texting and with the occasional FaceTime and then pretty much always get together at least twice a week on to roast. Yes, I'm missing them a lot again. Norwegian lushy, I love it. You'll have to tell Jessica that you said that. That's so funny. This thing that you and Lushy and poor old DC, you're corrupting her. I know this. Okay. And I approve. Yeah, so Gus and I are roasting on Sunday. We're doing family dynasties and we're looking at, the companies and maybe distributors who have had family dynasties. Actually, I need to get some of the Amway people from Heather C. She knows all the Amway dirt. That was a Val's recommendation as well. But we're going to look at Monate because there's the Erdenettas. They are at the top. And even Tony, the number one distributor, her husband and I think the daughter is not in yet, their daughter, because she's too young, but I'd say she'll join us soon as she turns 18. Then there's Mary Kay, there's Summit Body, there is Paparazzi. Any reason to talk about Paparazzi because we can talk about Taylor Kirby, who is a little gremlin. He has the weirdest Facebook. He'll have like a text post up that says, "Who's awake?" What are you doing, you fool? All right, let's keep going.
A mom friend at church told me about this energy drink, and that's where you're like, I don't know. I mean, if you can't get it at the grocery store, I'm not sure, but I think I still got it every month. It wasn't like you told me not to unsubscribe to it. It was just like, yeah, babe, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I think my issue then, and somewhat even now, but especially back then, is most people get into things and they buy into product or programs that they're not even using now.
Right,
So it's
exactly.
like it was extra stuff on top of the budget.
Right.
Like it's not like you were drinking energy drinks from the grocery store.
No.
And you were just replacing them with this different kind. That's one thing. If people are already buying a product, a service, and they find they can either get it cheaper, they can get it better through a person or a network marketing company or direct sales or something like that. But I remember vividly that I saw a post on Facebook, and we were always trying to lose weight. We were always going to the gym. We were always. I remember I did Weight Watchers. I did
LA weight loss.
LA weight loss.
Some sprinkle stuff.
Sprinkle stuff on your burger, and you will supposedly it doesn't make you hungry or something.
Right.
Yeah, so the thing that worked for you, Doug, was a calorie deficit, right? It's interesting because he talks about how broke he was, including in the book. He talks about how broke he was. I've also heard him tell a story about it was his last 10 grand and he gave it to the church. Like, how much in the hole were you if you could afford these expensive extra energy drinks? It seems like they had a fairly big budget for losing weight. And I mean, that's not completely a surprise because it seems like Doug has always hated his body, Gee, he looks like his mum. I saw a picture of his mum the other day. I was like, whoa, I look like my mum too. I go, so there's a pet store in the town where I live, and the town where my mum lives, and my mum works in, like, they're connected. There's only the two of them. And when I go in there, they're like, "Oh, that's your daughter." Of course, I should have recognized, because I do look like my mum. 47 years young. I've been saying I was 47 already. I had to, like, think about it the other day, and I'm like, hang on, I've been saying I was 47 all year to the students, and I'm like, oh, I missed out on those last bits of saying I was 46. Idiot.
I can't remember. We did a couple other things. I think more like capsule things. We did that takeoff drink. And then we would go into that center and weigh at LA Weight Loss.
Yeah.
That was kind of the program we were doing towards the end of like that kind of going out of business. And then before we found the program that we actually transformed our health
The
and
amazing Optavia.
the amazing
So
Optavia
let's just go back. Optavia was actually originally Medifast. In 1980, the founder of Medifast, Bradley McDonald, actually got connected with some doctors, created this amazing product line to help actually people prepare for bariatric surgery.
Mhm.
And so for 20 years, from 1980 to the year 2000, it was only distributed through doctors and helps of preparing their clients, their patients to lose weight, because you have to get so much weight off, and your inflammation down and things like that, to have bariatric surgery.
So doesn't that make you kind of question how you have the qualifications to advise people on this diet? Anyone? Hi, Lisa. Welcome. It's okay. We had about 15 minutes of technical difficulties, so it's all good. And then I had to go right out and right back in again. I did try something that DC recommended, and it looked all good, but there was an echo, so I'm gonna have to work out the kinks in that. Yes, so we're listening to Doug and Tia Unplugged, and they're talking about how Optavia used to be Medifast and Medifast, and it used to be used for people going through bariatric surgery. Now, that should be also another clue, because people going through bariatric surgery have to be a certain BMI, even though BMI system is not good. It's also race, like it's based on a racist system. So, it's a flawed situation, from the get-go. And then now they operated as Medifast for 20 years, and then Dr. A is about to enter the chat and go to turning it into Optavia. But I don't think that's a flex to say that doctors used to give it out. Now I do. Me, Doug, I give it out. And I am not a doctor, and I don't have any qualifications. 14 years he's been doing this, 14 years. You didn't want to be a certified personal trainer? You didn't want to do that? You didn't want to become a registered dietitian? No? You didn't want to get any actual qualifications that relate to selling this product? Okay. However, BT Dogs, the amount of doctors in this MLM, very concerning. There's a lot of doctors, not just functional health doctors either, some proper doctors.
And they became about a $5 million company a year in those 20 years. I mean, it was this amazing product. But in 2000, along comes Dr. Ray, the co-founder of what was Take Shape for Life, now became Optavia in year 2014. But when that happened, really what took place, he goes, you have an amazing product. It's already helping people. Not hardly anybody knows about it.
Right.
And as we know, without behavioral change, diets come and
without
go.
habit changing.
Yeah, without changing your habits, you do something temporary, you will get temporary results.
Right.
So of course, in 2000, 2001, Dr. Ray and Bradley McDonald got together, they created the company, the coaching division of MetaFast, which would become Take Shape for Life.
Mhm.
Now, they had an amazing product, and instead,
Yeah, did they have an amazing product, but it was for a certain purpose. Why did they think that it would be good for the wider community to have, you know? And if it was so good, why not make it a normal business? Why not make it available to everybody for a price and not like put it within this compensation plan where you have to level up? Connecting weight loss to a compensation plan, it's terrible and damaging. So many people come out of this MLM with destroyed metabolisms. Yes, Kevin Tinter, who's transphobic. Kevin Tinter, your diet wrecks people's metabolism. He was going off in his Facebook comments the other day, or a post. In fact, because I did a reaction to an Optavia video last week where Dan Valentine was on, and he is pretty high. He is one of the tippy top, and he is the first Optavia person listed on the Business from Home top 100, whatever. And he was, I kept on saying, are you angry? Are you angry? And the unlikely pastor's wife, she sent me an email, text, message, saying that, with some screenshots of Dan's Facebook, he was very angry. He's like, this is such a good opportunity, and people are just like, not doing it, and people can't even bother to put in the effort, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, so Alison sent me some screenshots. I'm going to look at them in another video as well. So I think Optavia is tanking big time. And that's why, like, Doug and Tia haven't done this podcast in a couple of years. And then they started doing it again this year. Because I'm pretty sure Aaron and DC have done a couple of episodes. I was going to drop it in the comments, and I'm like, everybody here's seen it. I know. Because you all know. Yeah. But it's like, I think I think Ove said it. Oh no, who said it? Oh, Lynn said, like, who are you? You guys are just a random couple from Arizona. Who cares what you have to say about things,
instead of like doing a bunch of advertising, MetaFast product was sold at the same price it was already be sold to doctors.
Yep.
And coaches would then get compensated for their service
of coaching those clients.
Yeah. Well, that's how this model was built. Call it, the world needs to put a label on everything. So call it MLM, call it direct sales, call it network marketing.
I've heard him say that this is not an MLM before. This is from, is this 2019? No, this is from now. I'm sure of it. Okay, hang on. I'm going to open this in a new tab so I don't lose my spot. Yeah, March 13th. So he has, previous to this point, he has said that we're not an MLM. I remember it. I think it's one of my old videos, actually. Yeah, I hope so too, Lisa. I honestly think they do. You know what will be interesting this year? Because they have their own convention in their team that Doug and Tia and Kevin and Becca Tinter do together, called Level Up. I'm really interested to see how big the crowd is at Level Up, because that was their big one. I haven't seen them talk about it yet. But yeah, I think that'll be a true test. Because even their convention that we saw last year, which was after Level Up, was pretty sparsely attended. That's where Dr. A said, we don't need a weight loss shot.
Isn't it funny that he said that when people were using it at the time?
Yeah, you're gonna sell and you're gonna
Direct to
promote
consumer.
direct to consumer
Mhm.
and receive a commission for that.
Yeah. And so we had amazing transformation ourselves. We found out about the program via a Facebook post that you were following along. It was early days of Facebook, so you were seeing everything. I mean, this is when we probably only had 100 friends at the time, you know?
Well, you could actually go to the end of the scroll,
Right,
and if like it wouldn't show you anything new.
right. Yeah. So you were following our coach at the time,
Right, yeah.
Calais. We had gone to church, at a church plant with
Hawaiian
him.
gentleman from
That's
Oregon.
right. Our dogs were friends. Our
Yep.
boxers were friends.
Yep.
So we went at the dog park. And him and his wife at the time were posting on social media. You were kind of following the play-by-play. I was kind of in a place of being pretty cynical and like kind of had given up.
What's
on getting
crazy is
healthy.
because a year and a half before that, when you came up home with the Himalayan juice,
Oh yeah, I was on fire for
and
getting healthy then.
and then you and I kind of went in different roles, which is
Yeah.
good. Like if ladies, if you're hot right now and your husband's cold, or dudes, you're hot and the woman's cold right now towards just
Yeah,
advancing your life, like that's where your strengths come
that's
in.
where you gotta work. Out.
Ladies, keep contending. Pray for your husbands. Husbands, pray for your spouses. Like if you're, if you seem to be a little more lit than your spouse right now, that's okay.
It is.
What should be a scary place is if you're both dead,
Yeah.
or negative,
Yeah.
because
What? If you're both dead? What? And also, what are we doing? Are we manipulating our partners? I think he said pray, but he said that's where friends come in. And I thought that he meant that's where friends come and help, like manipulate you into joining. But I think he was talking, that's where you can pray. Pray and friends don't really sound the same. So I'm not sure what I heard. Yeah. If you're dead. I don't think anyone's real worried about a diet when they're dead, Doug. Come on now. But this would be one of the biggest overcoming objections of all, I would say. Oh, my partner doesn't really, they're not into it. So I can understand them taking a long time to talk about this. Whether or not it's an effective way to recruit is another issue, but yeah, especially in Optavia, it's couple after couple after couple, and I can't imagine the strain that puts on to any like relationship, let alone a married couple, yeah, that would be pretty stressful. They've been doing it for 14 years, so, and I would guess that they are in a traditional sort of marriage where Doug is in charge,
when Tia, that's something I appreciate about you is when I'm weak, you're strong.
Yeah.
And
Right.
when I'm strong, you're weak. Like last week, you had a really just a crappy week.
It was
It was heavy, and I was like, "Let's freaking go!"
like, just give me a day here.
And then
give me
even
a
this
couple
morning,
days.
I woke up a little like having a hard time, had some hard meetings, had a few tough phone calls, and you could just tell. And like you've probably been the 70 to my 30 today, and
That's why God made us
yeah,
work together.
and also we've learned to trust that with each other, but that's taken a lot of time.
Yeah. And so we had our own personal transformation with Take Shape for Life at the time that would become Optavia. It was like, the weight came.
She's trying to like get on with the story of how they joined Optavia, and he's like, when I'm strong, you're weak. Is that a good thing to say like that? Okay. Back to the story. From the sounds of it, I think maybe Doug did join first. Okay, well, I'm sure that they will tell us.
Off our body. We were finally getting healthy in our mindset. Relationally, God was bringing some new friendships into our life through this community. I was going to these health and hope nights that were at our mentor's house, and Doug was, you know, coming home from work, watching the kids. I would go out to these.
Hope and health. Hope and health. To inextricably tie these concepts together again is really dangerous. Yikes.
You know, meetings at the time, but I mean, they were transforming me. I was like, Doug, I finally found my people, you know, the people I'd been like praying for and looking for like my whole life, that wanted more out of life, that were willing to do the deeper work, the harder work. And I had been looking for that in the church world. We both grew up in, you know, faith-based environment, but
That's what I was gonna say. Like, these people are churchy Joes. Like, it always perplexes me when they talk about, you know, wanting community, because didn't you have community with your church? And guess where you got signed up for Optavia? At church. Like, they're the same people, aren't they? Like, confusing. And also, they were using her as much as, you know, like, obviously it's turned out okay for them, as in financially. I can't imagine. They must be able to live with themselves with scamming people, but I couldn't do it, you know.
I was kind of hitting a wall.
Some of them are faith-based, others of them are religious-based.
Very religious. I would say, yeah, we can, yeah. There are parts of, I think, our upbringing that were more religious and part that were more, you know,
Still here to
faith-based.
tell the story. We wrote a
here.
couple good books
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, we did. Kick Fear in the Face.
We're healed.
A little church boy to millionaire over there. It's a little controversial sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you know.
I have reviewed the beginning, like the forward and the thank yous, which are called fist bumps, of Doug's book, chapter 1 and 2. I've reviewed them. It's a bad book. It's terrible. That's not controversial. It's poorly written. It has emojis in it. He has emojis in his published book. Haven't read Kick Fear in the Face. That's the name of Tia's book.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're here for it, right?
Yeah. Sorry, sidetracked. I'm like, that book still rattles people. But then they read it and then they thank me for it. There are more people. You'd think like someone is reading a dirty magazine when they
even take the cover. I've heard that people take the cover off it and read it, and like even like cover the side panel of it, because they don't want people to know they're actually reading it.
Blasphemy.
They'd rather be prophetic. I mean, the book is prophetic.
They would rather be seen reading a People magazine or like an In Touch.
Well, one of the chapters is the church has left the building. You wrote the book in the end of 2018 and 2019.
Yeah.
And then what happened in 2020?
COVID happened
and
literally left.
And that's one of the chapter titles of the book is The Church Has Left the Building. I mean, Doug, you have a prophetic voice, but anyway.
Hold on, what?
You have a prophetic voice.
Hold on, what? Because I told you something last week.
This man is not a prophet. Shut up. So the emojis are in color. Oh, I've got the book right here. One of my followers sent it to me. I was very appreciative of it. And it's signed Doug Wood. He's got really messy writing. Yay. Yeah, color emojis. That's like a guarded treasure. Yeah, I don't know if he is prophetic. And what did he say about the church? I can't even remember. What chapter is that? The church is left the building. I don't even see it. Can't even see it. Become a can't even see it. Why did he put the warning in the table of contents? God, he's weird. Maybe she wrote the church has left the building, because I cannot see it here. It's got this like a black page, and the chapters are in red. It's very hard to see. Yeah, I think he might be copying. I wonder what he thinks about Ray Ray. I honestly can't see that chapter. The church has left the building. All right, let's get to it. I'll have a look later.
You are a knower, and sometimes
Didn't like
no, I don't like.
saying
No,
what I
I
already
don't.
knew.
I know.
No, serious question. Let's just pause. 24 years. Why do you still question what I know? I'm asking you this publicly on the record. You still question?
Oh, yes, I do.
Why?
I'm so bad at that. The feeler in me wants to believe. I think the optimist in me wants to like believe that that's not going to be the case, because you know things like, and I don't want it to be true. Like the optimist in me, the hopeful person in me that wants to everything to be rainbows and sprinkles and beautiful. And you know things like the reality of things that it's like, no, Tia, that's going to go down that way, or no, that's not going to close. That's not going to happen. And I don't know. I probably still fight it. It's still an area where I'm growing as a wife with you.
You guys hearing this today?
We're having a counseling session here.
Gosh, okay. So if you go back,
Yeah, exactly, Melissa. Why do you still question? I'm always right, aren't I? Why do you question me? Ew.
I mean, because this is interesting, because a lot of people, a lot of the listeners right now struggle with, are you a part of network marketing?
Mhm.
Is this MLM? And you get all weird and you're like, well, you start stuttering, you kind of beat around the bush. Well, it's a hybrid model. No, it's freaking network marketing. Somebody asked me, like, Doug, are you a part of network marketing? Why would I want to be a part of single level marketing?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Doug, is this multi-level marketing? Yes. I would not touch single level marketing. I did that for 15 years in the furniture business.
Clocked in,
and we
clocked
went
out.
bankrupt.
Yep.
Having one stream source of income.
Almost bankrupt.
Yeah, but people call that
barely
security.
on our back. Yeah.
Yeah, people call that security. And
Yeah.
when we got healthy and we lost over 100 pounds together, and people started banging down our Facebook
Yeah.
and stopping.
Yeah, because they think that you did something good, but you didn't. Like, you lost it really quickly because you're in a calorie deficit. You were on a starvation diet. That diet was always bound to work for you. And maybe you're just bad at sales. I don't know. The other thing about single level sales is that you don't have to recruit anybody. You keep all of the profit. You don't have to pay anyone out. And in the book, Church Boy to Millionaire, he talks about having like 15 employees and working from like it almost feels like hyperbole, because he just said he went bankrupt, and Tia corrected him and said, no, almost. So where is the truth in that, right? Of course you don't like single level marketing because it didn't allow you to become a millionaire like you are now, because the people who are paying to be a part of Optavia, you get a cut of that because you've built a team. It's coming from them. So you're okay with it. Clearly, we know this because everybody who's at the top of an MLM knows where their money comes from, without a doubt. So it's just kind of gross to hear him say, yeah, why would I do anything else? I can't be a millionaire in that system. I don't care. I'll just be, I'll take however I get money.
I remember one time in church, we were like, with their hands lifted high and all like
They're tapped up
emotional.
on
They're
the
like,
shoulder.
"Hey, I want to talk to you about your weight loss program." Okay, like,
Yeah.
can I finish with my Ebo Sunday right now or something? You know, it's like, but
People were
Well,
hungry.
people wanted to know, but I remember when you were paid, and I don't want to turn this into a whole income disclosure thing, but I remember it was like your second month, and it wasn't $1,000, but I think it was $600 or $700.
I just
that you
wanted
were
to pay. My biggest desire at that time was to be able to pay for a little private Christian school for the girls.
But I told you no, because we
Yeah.
couldn't afford it on our
And I didn't even know
single
it was
network
possible.
marketing company.
Yeah, I didn't know it was possible. I mean, I'm a relationship person, and
So if that's the case, Doug, that you couldn't afford it on like just yours, could Tia get a job? Could she get a job to earn that extra money? Because that would have worked as well, right?
so I think over the years in my adulthood, I actually grew up around this industry a little bit when I can like reflect back to my childhood. You know, there were people, friends of my parents that were in network marketing. My parents were never successful in it, but they were always like, my parents always worked hard. So they taught me hard work ethic. And so when I came into this model of business, I thrived. I soared because I had been looking for something kind of purpose out of mother. I always wanted to be a mom, but it was like I was looking for more of a purpose outside of that. And honestly, I was looking for my people. I went away, as a teenager to do ministry school. And I thought I was going to go to the nations and like go change the world for Jesus. And it's like crazy to think like God was always preparing me for here and to be.
No, he wasn't. No, he was not preparing you to be in an MLM. Oh, that's great. Like, you were looking for your people again. Why do you not have your people? Like, aren't the religious people you grew up around your people? It's so bizarre, you know? Change the world for Jesus. And now you're in an MLM thinking that you're doing God's work? No. No, 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 no. No. And it wasn't enough just to be a mother? Because guess what, everybody? Under like a conservative government, I just heard a guy say the other day, from the Christian conservative group who have been working on Project 2025, which is what they plan to implement if Donald Trump is re-elected. One person talked about taking the vote away from women because the man can speak for them, because that's what it means to be a Christian nation. So those women who are supporting that side of the road, if you value your independence whatsoever, you better watch out, because the leopards will eat your face. They've already started doing it. Look, Candace Owens is out, Don't trust these white cis het men to take care of you unless you are a white cis het man. Honestly.
Like almost like in the United States to be a missionary of health and a missionary of hope. And when I lost that 40 pounds, it was like I had a responsibility to share this gift and to live it out loud. And I mean, that's constantly why I wake up every day, even when I had a hard week like last week. It's like, no, I know that there's people on the other side of this obstacle and this resistance I'm feeling. And us working together as a couple. So, I mean, it's been the greatest gift, and I'm so grateful I said yes, and I didn't resist it.
Which one of the biggest things that, you and I talk about is take your place of pain and make your place of rain.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize that becoming coaches would take our biggest place of pain, which was our weight and our insecurity around our weight. And we finally found restorative hope. We finally
Really? Is that how shallow their life is? That was their biggest problem. Wow. Okay. Tommy Taco. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't know. Destroy your perceptions of me, but I am not a trans man. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just a woman. um. Yeah, RB. I was saying this to Val the other day. I'm like, Val, you have to move to Australia. It's not much better, but we do have a third party in Parliament. So the Greens. If you check out my Instagram, I do reshare or share stuff from Marine. What's Marine? She's a senator. She's a Green senator in Australia. So and she's been sticking it to the current government about their treatment of Palestine. So yeah, I know. Yeah, go to Canada, everybody. It's not as far. I know there are still some like far right in Canada, but I think overall it's definitely a haven compared to America at the moment. It must be very, very frightening. Oh, I know, right? I would be very frightened as a woman, and even though I'm not going to have a child or anything, you never know what could happen in the future. Like, and not even having your reproductive health, or access to reproductive health. No, Tommy Taco, I am not a trans man. But thank you for the compliment. Getting mistaken as a trans man on my birthday, great. You can see Canada from your apartment. Oh, that's amazing. That would be so bizarre. I mean, Australia is vast. It's vast. And I know America is too, but to be able to see another country. When I traveled in Europe and going, like by the train through from like Amsterdam down to Bruges in Austria and to Paris, to France. It's all really cool that you can go there. Ah, nice. Oh, that would be a cold place to live, I imagine.
Finally found. I'm hesitant to use the word freedom because freedom sounds like a finish line. And again, how do you measure freedom? We were free. We felt free when we were down 15 pounds.
I think we finally found our future. Like it was like we
It was
felt like
a
we
tool,
had
an answer.
something
We were on
now.
the train. We were on the bus.
Yeah,
It was
we had
like
something
oh
to
my
live
gosh.
for and a purpose like that we saw like this could fulfill the visions and the dreams and I think we knew the parents that we wanted to become for our girls. I mean, they were toddlers at the time when we started this, and we just knew like we were obese, we were overweight, or we were in debt, and this was not the future that we wanted to create for our kids. So when Optavia and this tool of coaching came into our life, it was like I think we had hope for our future. That's what I feel like I finally had hope.
It was because it was like, you can have that's a bad analogy, but you can have a nice car, but if you don't put gas in it,
Good
it's
gas.
not going to go anywhere. And it was like finally, like we always felt like we were meant to live a bigger life. I remember going to
Why? What is so special about you? Oh, is it cheaper? Is that cheaper, Hope, to have Canadian phone service? That's hilarious. You know what? The amount of MLMers who say, I just knew I was meant for more. How? Is everybody like, how are you meant for more? Everybody's, like, not everybody's special. And the analogy of a car, yeah, no, it's not a good analogy because you don't have to recruit other cars to keep it running, you know? I bet you probably get Canadian Netflix as well. I don't have Netflix at the moment, but
breakthrough conferences at City Bible. And,
Yeah.
and I don't know what the name of that church is now, but I just remember like going to all these places and we're just like, man, I don't feel like our engine that's
You would
getting us
even come
there.
down here to Dream City, to the conferences, at the Dream
Yes.
conferences in those early years.
Yeah.
Even after
Just
we left Master
praying
Commission.
for breakthrough and a miracle, but we just knew that literally our single level marketing furniture business was not going to get us there. So we
Mhm.
felt like we were called to more. And it baffles me why so many different people, I guess, get insecure around network marketing. But one thing I do appreciate about Optavia is, and there's a lot of companies like this.
Mhm.
Actually, there's very few. Excuse me, I was trying to be nice there. I don't know very many that was actually started out of a pure good product, and then they found a better way to distribute it. So again, our product, for those of you, whether you're part of Optavia, whether you're part of any other company, or a pessimist standing on the outside saying, I'm listening to this just for the title.
I am a pet. I suppose you would call me a network marketing pessimist. Yeah. Every single network marketing company talks about their product. And, that's kind of like what it is. My birthday, Tarpon. Yeah. A couple of years ago, I'm pretty sure I had COVID. I haven't had COVID. I might have had it just this one time. It was my birthday. And I forgot. My dad forgot too. We got reminded by my mum because she had called my dad to say, hey, do you just want to go out to dinner? I'll pay for it to go, because we weren't living in the same town. And she's like, and I'm like, no, I am too sick. And why would I go out for dinner? It's like, it's your birthday. I'm like, I thought it was tomorrow. Yeah. I'm not a big birthday person. Do you know who's going to be angry about this? Gus and Val. I have not told them. I didn't tell them it was my birthday. I don't usually share that it's my birthday because I just don't care. Like, it's whatever. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Tarpon. Thanks, Lisa. I almost said Lynn then, Lisa, but I think Lynn already said happy birthday. But thank you.
Look at a network marketing company based on their product. Most network marketing companies do create a business model and then they find a product to sell and distribute. Optavia,
That's true.
which used to be Medifast Take Shape for Life, Medifast stood on its own for 20 years, helping people lose weight. Then they said the company is not growing.
The
They
company.
can either go start putting it in more doctors' offices.
The company was not growing. Hang on. What's the justification? Let me go back 15 seconds. All right.
Optavia, which used to be Medifast Take Shape for Life, Medifast stood on its own for 20 years, helping people lose weight. Then they said the company is not growing. They can either go start putting it in more doctors' offices, or we can actually provide accountability to people, and we can provide each and every client a coach, and we can spread it through word of mouth, which is why you won't find it in the grocery store.
That's right.
What a pile of shit. That is such a pile of shit. In other words, the creator wanted to make more money out of it, right? And if you put it into a supermarket, you have to, I imagine that is a complicated process of selling something to a supermarket. And you have to market it. You have to, probably have a C-suite. And I imagine it's quite difficult to get a product into supermarkets pretty easily, right? It's easier to make an MLM, and they know that the model exploits people. So they know they've got an inbuilt customer base and that they can exploit the team building and so on. Wow. Why couldn't they just keep on going with providing the doctor's offices with it? think about all the people who would be going through bariatric surgery in the last, so 14 years. I would say that people would have been talking about the obesity epidemic back then, maybe a little bit further. But come on, Doug, pull the other one, mate. What a pile of crap.
Because they, instead of giving the grocery stores 40% off, they would rather pay the coaches or the stream of coaches, because there is a levels to it. But one thing that's also really pure about
That's the problem.
Optavia is that the person doing the bulk of the amount of work coaching that client earns the bulk of,
Compensated for
yeah.
that.
So like Optavia, you get paid like 40% of the total order of, let's say, of every dollar, 40 cents is being paid out to a coach.
Mhm.
28%, actually now 31% with the bonuses, gets paid up to the frontline coach, meaning the coach providing the biggest service
Yep.
to that client. So like when you got started, I think you made $600 or $700 that second month.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many clients, that was like 6 or 7 or 8. Then
Yeah.
the point is that you got paid 600, and I think it was $80, because I remember opening the check.
Doesn't fucking matter.
went to
Just
the
keep
box.
going.
Deposit back.
No, and I thought,
Just
what
keep
the heck
going.
are they sending Tia a bill? See, I was still really pessimistic. And I remember opening that check, and I remember, I think it was 624 or 680. It was 600 something. And now to come find out, your coaches above you all would have maybe earned, they would have split up like $150.
Something like that.
But you got the bulk of the income because
Yeah.
you did the bulk of the amount of work. That
Yeah.
also is another indicator that it's a pure compensation plan.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah, okay. That is so annoying how he's describing this. It's okay if the figures aren't exact, just talk. But what if you have a coach who doesn't coach you? And what are your, yeah. Excellent point. Why are you opening her check, Doug? Is it your money, like together, even though she earned it? But yeah, you could still get that check and not coach anyone. You know what I mean? Like, what do they do to coach? Because I've seen their calls. It's not anything flash. They're not literally doing personal training with people. So what does a coach do? And it's called a coach, but I understood your sarcasm, Lisa. I saw a really good post on Instagram on Monday. It was like autistic people on April Fool's Day, not getting the joke normally, and then having to, on top of that, be like trying to be combating the April Fool's joke. And I'm like, oh, that is, I'd never considered that. I'm like, that's awful. Or, if you're literal, that would be sucky. Yeah, it's interesting that why not just have a system where whoever sold it got all of that, got all of the commission, right? Not anyone up above them, but they got all the commission. How about that, Doug? Wouldn't that be good? Because that coach above may not have done something. We don't know. Oh, what time is it? Okay. I think I'm going to go, and I'm going to stay for a bit longer. If I don't finish this on live, I will finish it. But my watch is always flat. I think I'm going to go and get some sort of cake for my birthday. Okay, let's keep going.
every dollar that goes out in a commission, 28 cents or up to 31 cents of that dollar goes to the coach.
Yeah.
The remaining 10-ish cents
Yeah.
goes to the entire support team. So I love how people say like, oh, Doug and Tia, are you at the top? Well,
You are.
first of all, if it's
Yes.
a pure comp plan, There is no top. So no, we're not at the top. Have we helped a lot of people and have we trained and developed a lot of coaches? Yes. Are we compensated for that? Absolutely. And team building. But actually the person doing the bulk of the amount of work is at the top because they are getting paid the most amount of money for supporting that client, not me. Hey, Tia, go recruit, do all this, go do all this sign up crap.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to sit back and collect and you're getting paid nothing.
Yeah.
That's actually, let's just think about that. That's actually corporate America. Like, let's just go there.
No, it's not. No, sir. No, it's not. Because of the way that the money flows. The money flows up from the bottom in an MLM. In a corporate situation, the money flows down. Wow. And the person who's at the top works the hardest, gets the most money. Yes, we're well compensated. The top of the compensation plan. There is a top of the compensation plan. What up? But that's bullshit. Now, they may not be doing any work at that point, but at the moment, Doug and Tia are having to work, and even Dan Valentine, who's very up high, they are all working harder at the moment because they've had people losing and their check has gone down, I would guess. And so what happens when your check goes down? Well, oh my God, the Google searches for Optavia, it goes like, suggested searches goes Optavia Wegovy. Optavia ruined my life. They're the first two. How funny. But they are synonymous now with the jab. And also, they don't call it the jab, they call it, or no, they've got a, how they used to call the COVID vaccination, maybe the Vax or Vax. They call this a different name because they know the association with that word. Yeah, they may be doing work now. They definitely are doing more work now. Like they are, I think we started following it either at the end of last year or the beginning of this year. Their team training page is open to the public on Facebook. Anyone can go and get their videos and react to them there. So yeah, I'm going to look for the compensation plan because this is not true. There's a top for sure.
For a minute. That's actually most churches.
Yep.
Ooh. That's most coffee shops, corporate run coffee shops.
That's right.
That's most corporations. The people sitting at the top, probably doing the least amount of work, are getting paid the most. And the person actually in the shops making the coffee, the people actually working 60 hours a week, opening the church, closing the church, doing all the stuff, are getting paid less than the person at the top of the pyramid. So you want to describe a pyramid, it would be corporate America. And again, I know organizations have to be set up with organizations and people at the top, and then you filter out there. But I
the problem isn't the shape, Doug. This is a fallacy comparing it to corporate America. Again, it's the way that it is, the money goes. All right, I'm just going to show you here. I'm going to go back to the other one. All right, so you can see that. Oh, what's this? All right, it's on the wrong page. Executive director is the top rank, Doug. So is there ranks? Are there ranks? Oh, where am I? What happened? No. Yeah, so there are ranks, people. Yeah, they did the job. So you're a liar? Is that what we're led to believe here? You're a liar? Like, what pile of crap? it just feels like he is desperately trying to, you know, recruit. This is all for recruiting, you know, if you think about it. Yeah, exactly. So corporate America, the people at the top don't do any work in that pyramid. Sorry, sir, I chose not to be managing corporate America. Yeah, exactly. They do work hard, mostly, you know. There are some people who don't. Absolutely. All right, we'll get back to this.
I think it's really pure, and I think it's interesting that we need to understand what it is we're talking about here and what we're not.
Yeah. I'm just really grateful for what Optavia has given us and given us the structure to really thrive in, both physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially.
Ooh, she's buffering, but I'm not sure why. What's happening. Come on, buffer. Oh no, it started again. We're up to about
Become
20,
Optavia.
Word freedom, because
22.
it's interesting that we need to understand what it is we're talking about here and what we're not.
Yeah. I'm just really grateful for what Optavia has given us and given us.
I'd be really grateful too, because you're millionaires. You have your own gym at home. I'd be very grateful to Optavia for that. And, you know, basically allowed them to sort of had their own, like, their team is very important, and they had their own convention and things like that. It's kind of like the Empire was with Jessie Lee Ward. You know, like their team it's a powerhouse in Optavia.
The structure to really thrive in, both physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. That blessing has come with a lot of hard work, a lot of discipline, a lot of commitment to, you know, continue to put ourselves in new rooms. I mean, a lot of our journey, you know, even looking over the last 14 years, a couple years into our journey, we moved across town and we put ourselves in a whole new community. And you know, then a couple years later, we moved all the way down here to Arizona, left everything we knew, our family, our, you know, our environment that we had raised the girls in. It has required us to shift and pivot and move and get uncomfortable.
That's interesting. You went across town to move. I wonder why they moved to Arizona, because I know that's where, like, the Tinters also live in Arizona. I thought they were from Arizona, so that was my mistake there.
Been in a new season where I'm getting uncomfortable and putting myself in new rooms of growth, because I don't know if you've seen the statistics of our nation right now, but our biggest epidemic we are up against right now is obesity. It is robbing our children. It is robbing our grandchildren. It is robbing the future of our nation.
How? What do you mean? What do you mean by robbing them? It is robbing you. What is it taking? What does obesity take away from your life, Tia? What specifically in obesity affects your life today? Because I think it's a big old nothing, and you should mind your own business, right? But that's not good for business.
We have got to get fit for purpose and fit for health, fit for, you know, our physical body, and, you know, the evolution of being part of such an amazing organization with Optavia.
You don't give a shit about any of that. You just want to get them in your plan. You don't give a shit. And You can't tell how healthy someone is by their weight. You absolutely cannot. And Val often uses themselves as an example because they are thin, they're not healthy. They have chronic health problems and chronic pain. So, you know, like that's a good example. Val's a good example of how you can't gauge anyone's health from the way they look. Yes, a bunch of yes, I just saw a reel by Make It Make No Sense, where Dre was saying basically Dramus from ex WFAB person was saying, "Oh, I totally lied about making money in iGenius, but I'm making money now." How anyone can believe that she's making money? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we made so many sacrifices to live in a different place. So lots of people moved here.
Is seeing the evolution of our programs. You know, we've kind of been known in the industry as like this weight loss and this diet program, but we've really evolving in this past season of going more into ultra health and active and the different programs that we're really providing. And I'm so grateful to be part of that evolution because
Ultra health is what they call when you reach a certain body fat percentage, which again does not indicate health. And the type of body fat percentage, and Kevin Tinter was talking about this when he was talking about broken metabolism. He was saying, well, I have this body fat and have maintained it for this long. And Becca has had this body fat and maintained it for this long. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, your anecdotal evidence isn't evidence, right? And you guys don't have normal 9-to-5 jobs. What do you do all day? You work out all day, every day. So, of course, you're able to maintain that body fat percentage. Now, the active lines is the amino acids, and, you know, like they're using it as a pre-workout, which you can get better pre-workouts for cheaper. But yeah, and that's absolutely right. Optavia has put a bunch of people into EDs. Oh, wow, and you've had people. And I know Auntie Lushy, friend of the show, Auntie Lushy did the diet before her wedding, and she looks stun 100 for sure. But she said she was miserable because she was hungry, you know? Yeah, it's terrible. It's really, really terrible. And I think the worst thing that happens, like you can fix your metabolism. Look at Erin B's journey of doing that, and even Julie Joe. They both have had, you know, journeys of fixing their metabolism. And the scariest part about fixing metabolism is that you have to eat. And when you've spent years depriving yourself, that can be quite a challenge. So it's possible. You should work with a professional. And yeah, it was pretty bad, talking. We talked about it. Gosh, I think we talked about it last year. Only last year and I. Yeah, you know, like it's not sustainable. And anyone who is sustaining weight loss, oh, that's what I was going to say. The minute, I think this is Alison, the unlikely pastor's wife, said, oh, I know it was there was a podcast with a registered dietitian, and she interviewed one of her clients who used to be in Optavia, and she said she went a little bit over calories, and she just immediately, she could not go over calories by like 10, or she would put on weight. Like it was just the metabolism was so broken. So, you know, it's bullshit to say that this is sustainable. However, these people who are sustaining it live a completely different life to what everybody else is able to, because they're making a lot of money off of it. And also, they lie. Doug and Tia were on Ozempic last year when they were working out and getting really trim for their bodybuilding like competition. So they lied about it. You know, like, so you don't know. He's also had weight loss surgery, I'm pretty sure, or he's had something to do with, like, I don't know if he's either had a tummy tuck or something like that because he had loose skin. I can't remember that part. He has had a breast reduction, and I think he had a nose job or something. I saw he had a nose job somewhere, but his nose looks, I don't know if it's healed into its final position because it still looks pretty much the same at the you know, like, it's not just Optavia and it's not just habits of health. It's more than that, and it's deceptive not to mention it. You know, like they don't care.
I know, like, being part of an organization, being part of Optavia, like we've stayed the course and we've seen the beauty that's come on the other side of being part of this kind of model of business, where some people maybe have a bad taste in their mouth. Like I tried that for a year and it just didn't work. Or
also, of course, you've stayed with it. You get paid millions. This is something that you're going to make an adjustment for. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you can stand to take the money that you know comes from your downline, you will adjust your lifestyle because you have to. Yeah, Doug definitely has body dysmorphia. And I heard him talking about how the woke agenda, he was talking about the woke agenda because Tia went to this meeting about, like, where we've got to take care of our children. So if I ever hear Doug talk about surgeries for trans people, are we going to talk about his breast reduction? Because he has had gender affirming surgery to get his breast reduction. That's a type of gender affirming surgery. If you can have it, everybody can have it. So I'll be interested. I'll be keeping an ear out for that one, because that's usually the next thing after we talk about the woke agenda. Then we get into gender critical. It's like, are you sure you want to go there, Doug? I don't know about that.
I tried that for a couple of years and I had a little bit of success, but you know, I ran out of people to help.
People lack stick-to-itiveness
Yeah,
in this day and
there's
age.
so many people to help.
And even us too. I mean, when I'm thinking when we joined Optavia, and again, everyone's like, "Oh, I wish, you know, is it one of those things you got to get in on the ground floor?"
There's so much more to
There's no ground floor. There's people in the company that came in after us,
Yeah.
that are making more than us today.
Yep.
And so it's
So it doesn't
a
matter.
pure business. You should be able to earn all the income that you desire, and how it depends on how hard you want to work. But I also look at when we came into the business, Optavia was a $180 million company. They had just become publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange.
No, they haven't just become publicly traded on the stock market. That's from a few years ago now, Doug. And don't tell me that the profits are still as strong. I don't think so. And your income disclosure statement does not support those things. But I've got a weird income disclosure statement. I'll see if I can.
Which, speaking of that, in 2019, 2020, right before the world shut down,
Yeah.
you and I were in New York,
Ringing in the bell.
Stock
Yeah.
Exchange, ringing the bell.
That was the end
on
of
Wall
February or
Street.
March.
It was early March, because
Yeah.
remember the world shut down 6 days later.
Yeah.
And it was, I guess COVID was running rampant through New York, but we were there. We didn't catch it that
No.
time. But I think about, and then last year, literally, in 2022, we peaked
Yep.
temporarily at 1.6 billion.
Mhm.
And in 2023, we finished just over 1 billion. You're thinking, well, that's a
Yeah, have a think about that, Doug. Have a think about that. Why do you think that's gone down now, hey? Could it have anything to do with the COVID boom? Do you think? Do you think? Could be. All right, I'm gonna have a look at this. So the income disclosure rate, let me. I think this is all US dollars. All right, so no earnings, 22% of people have no earnings. 0 to 100. Let's go 0 to 1,000 is 22, 29, 40, 50, 60. Let's say about 62% of people earn under $1,000 a year. 62% of people. Yeah, these aren't good. These are not good figures. These are terrible figures. Like, what would you need to live in America? You would probably need to be 50 grand plus, I reckon. If you were down here and you had a spouse, I think you'd be okay. But 50 grand, so that's 1.52%. You know, it's about 2% of the company. So tell me again, Doug, about how anyone can come in and earn lots of money, because that's not fucking true. Body dysmorphia is so rampant with youth because of this crap and everything else. My 17-year-old has it, even though he's tall and skinny. Oh, that's awful. And that's it. Like, the pressure on people to look a certain way, and these jerks, like, use it to sign them up to their MLM. It's disgusting. Yeah, it's $1 billion industry. That's not a good thing. All right, it's not a good thing.
$600 million loss. Yeah. So after 13 years, we finally had a tough year, and we pivot, we make adjustments.
That's right.
And amateurs bail, amateurs go, oh man, it must not work anymore. No. This is our heartbeat.
Yeah.
This is our mission. This
Yeah.
is what I believe especially Optavia, but network marketing in general.
Hi, Irv. Thank you for being
challenges and
here.
causes a person to become. It forces you to constantly look at self.
Confront. Yeah.
I mean, literally, I remember when people, see you and I working together now.
Yeah.
And they'd say, oh my gosh, your marriage is so amazing.
Mhm.
Has it always been that way? And well, first of all, our marriage is amazing, but we
Yeah,
work at
we
it.
work.
But also we still have our challenges.
We do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I look at one of the reasons that we loved coaching was, or people will say, I don't know how I could ever work with my spouse.
Mhm.
Well, T and I used to say the same thing until we're like, well, why can't we work together?
Yeah.
Like, why can't we
Work
got
towards our
married?
future. Yeah.
Why
We
do we
will
want to
earn
be
so
roommates?
much more
Why do
money.
we just want to share a bank account and then fight over it?
Yeah.
What if we couldn't sweep everything under the rug, and it forced us to have hard conversations that maybe we wouldn't have ourselves because one of us would run,
Yeah.
or both of us would, but it actually forced us to communicate for the sake of the greater good,
Yeah.
or the sake of the cause, or the sake of
Because
the
it's
future
worth
of
it.
what
The
we're trying
mandate,
to
Money.
build.
mission that
You and I have
God
always
us
called
to
it
do.
our safe word.
Yeah.
Like anytime
What does this have to do?
anytime we get off track, anytime we start, snipping at each other,
Mhm.
getting frustrated, or just doing something dumb, we're like
What does
arguing
this
about
have-
something stupid. What does this have to do with our next goal?
Yeah.
And that's kept us aligned, because it's like, well, it does have a lot to do with our next goal. So we got to stay in the driver's seat
Yeah.
and finish this conversation, even though it's very hard or very uncomfortable. And then either I'm calling you higher, you're calling me higher,
Or we're getting
just,
the support people in our life to help us navigate those waters.
yeah, because it takes all the tools to build and to grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
The tools.
And so if you've been on the fence about stepping into this industry, I encourage you
Oh my gosh.
to kick some fear in the face, because
It's
everything you want is on the other side.
$80
Of course.
billion
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah.
Not
And there are
for
some
the
amazing companies and product lines. out there. I mean, of course, I'm biased.
Yeah, you are biased, Doug. That is the business is worth the billions. The distributors are not. We just looked at the income disclosure statement from 2022. Don't lie, Doug. Liar. Today, I've said the word liar so many times, and I was like, Alexa, I don't have an Alexa. Alexa, play Liar Liar by Mac Attack. That's what we need. Liar, liar. So many liars.
We're
We love what we do.
we didn't even know
love
we
it.
were getting into network marketing. We didn't even know we were getting into like all we saw
Isn't
firsthand knowledge,
The
or
community,
results of
we
the
saw,
product.
yeah.
Isn't that a little bit deceptive? Whoever recruited you? I'd feel like, a little bit deceived. Yes, it worked out for them, but that is very rare because they have no morals to continue taking the money.
So the
The
community-
service, the results,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, we found out like, oh, this is what everyone's so scared of.
Yeah.
This is what, yes, sadly, I guess some people have given it a bad taste in their mouth because of either controlling leadership or they went into either a church or a group and just like tried to hard sell. Or
Yeah.
I've even heard of people going to events. Hey, you want to go over to my house for dinner? And back in the old days, I guess it was maybe the Amway thing or something.
Yeah.
And people.
Excuse me. He took this book on a fucking tour he went to churches. And what did they talk about? Optavia. As if he hasn't created a school, Global Valor, and a church, like his church where they have Level Up. Man, this is a ring ring. Hello, it's a pot calling the kettle black. Yep. Doug did just say that it was bad how people recruit from the congregation of the church. Yeah. He did say that. Yeah, I know he doesn't. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he is a hypocrite. Anyway, thanks. It is my birthday. Yeah. All right. See ya. The church is an Amway. I think he was saying that Amway, they used to invite you for dinner and then spring the opportunity on you. Oh man, Mabel, she's like, whoever is there, like near Mabel, she just puts her head like underneath their mouth so that they will groom her. She's so funny. And on my I said this on my Instagram. So I have telehealth therapy, and you can see a little bit more of my world on the telehealth thing. And Paddingham, the whole time, Will was like spread eagle with his crown jewels, just on show for most of the therapy session. Just Will's manhood just up in the corner. I was like, ew, sorry, doctor. Yeah. No. I don't think my doctor noticed, but you never know.
Would be like, they would like pull out a whiteboard and start, it'd be like a bait and switch.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man,
I don't think that
That's
company
so
is doing
shady,
that
though.
bad. So if you are in that industry of Amway, it's not doing it still does okay.
no, but I know you and I
Yeah,
have
we kinda-
always chosen to be above board with.
Totally. Like this
Like
is what we're
friendship.
inviting you to.
Yeah, like we'll
Yeah.
tell you like, hey, we're having a health and home night. We're going to talk about our health program. Hey, this conference is for this. There's no bait and switch stuff because I think one, that's slimy and that's gross.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Health night does not indicate an Optavia pitch. And I know because I've heard them when they were doing their Level Up conference, they did invite randos, right? And they talked about, you know, like if you're new here, blah blah blah, why would you invite? And it seems like the level up thing is a church service because it's in a church, you know. I don't think it's as much of a bait and switch as the Amway people, and I think that because people would be pretty pissed off these days if they were completely deceived like that. It's not from any sort of morals that they have. I just think that they don't do it because it doesn't work, you know. Otherwise, they would do it.
It's 100% transparent. It's 2024. My gosh.
Yeah, I think back to like one of the times we had like a barbecue or something, and people thought that we were inviting them over to the house to like give them a presentation or something like that.
Oh,
And they were sitting around the table and they're like waiting for it. We're like, no,
pitch.
we just want.
Then
to
finally
be
they
able
start
to-
laughing. They're like, "Oh my gosh, we didn't know where we were coming to because we knew you guys were like some part of some health thing."
Yeah. And we're like, we're so sorry that that's happened to you in the past, but no, we just wanted to have you for dinner, you know? And I really believe when
I'd
you
like to know.
make people,
Did you then talk about the business? I'd like to know that. And I mean, that's fair enough. I don't think everything has to be a pitch, but quite funny.
the main focus, that is where you will see breakthrough. And there is going to be seasons of shedding and journeys of friendships and partnerships. And it's just, you got, if you want the good, you got to be willing to go through the hard times, you know, and you got to be willing to like navigate all the waters. And I just,
Partnerships that break up, perhaps, like Allison, who spilled the beans.
am so grateful for the person I've become through this process. I'm excited for the person I'm becoming because I definitely stay partnered with my future self. And last week it was kind of one of those sit down with her, my 65-year-old self. And I went and grabbed a coffee, got some flowers. And, you know, we just I have these moments where it's like, nobody's going to coach yourself. You can go get the greatest coaching out there. You can go to the greatest counselor out there, but your future self is like your greatest mentor, your greatest coach. And so I had a little moment with her last week and she just like, you know, stay the course, show up, keep pressing in, have a day off, go get your lashes done. I mean, I had.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Tarpon. Thanks for being here. I appreciate that. We're also roasting on Sunday, me and Gus. So come along. It's going to be fun, I think. Family Dynasties. I'm looking forward to it, actually. Yeah, look, I don't think that oh, okay. Who's racist? Me? You? I might, yeah, look, if you explain, I don't mind having a conversation in my chat. Yeah, look, I'm mentally ill. I don't think 65 like I'm not going to take advice from that person because I don't know. You don't acknowledge your black son. That's really interesting because I'm childless. So, yeah, good luck with that, Migo. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty sure I haven't had any children. Because I'm pretty sure I'd remember something like that. I have dogs, dude. All right, I'm gonna ban. But thanks for coming along. Well, thanks for the engagement. All right, how bizarre. Yeah. So 65, having a conversation with. Yeah, that was weird. I think I'm gonna go because I'm about halfway through this podcast. I'm going to finish it though. I'll do a video or maybe I'll go live again. Don't know. And yeah, we'll get through this because Doug's telling some tall tales. Yes, he is. And it just makes me think that they are very desperate for customers, you know? That need more people because they've lost people. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining me today with on my 47th birthday. No children, I promise. I'm not hiding any children. Just the dogs. They're okay though. I can leave them at home. Thank you so much, Abby. Yeah, thanks everybody. Yeah, I think I do want to do the Veronica one. But I might take the rest of the day off. I don't know. I am on school. Yes, the dogs. I do. Well, then I have two black children because I've got Wilbur and Frida. They're both black and tan. And then I've got one chocolate, one dappled, and one shaded red. So yeah, we're a bunch. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for your comments, and especially if you've been here since the beginning. We had lots of technical difficulties. So yeah. All right. See you later. Bye. Oh no, Kita, that's hilarious. No, Minnie's good though.